What's going on, MSFers? Duelim here, back in with another video, and today we've got Cosmic Crucible Ultimate 32 defense for you here. So we've only got 1 week of this, so if you haven't heard, we're going to be doing a 32-man tournament. So your bracket is going to be much larger than it normally is. There's going to be 32 players, so we're going to have Cosmic Crucible starting on Sunday and running all the way through Friday. So be aware of that because we're going to have 5 full days of Cosmic Crucible, and we've only got 3 rooms for this one special week of Cosmic Crucible. The first one is going to be Overcharged. On defense and offense, all characters' special abilities cost 4 ability energy more, and ultimate abilities cost 4 energy less. And then it's the standard rules here for the exhausted and all this kind of stuff. So the team I'm thinking here is kind of a mishmash of stuff. Kahori is pretty much a no-brainer in here because Kahori's ult turns into a 2-turn cooldown. So she's going to be ulting, opening up turn 1. Then she's going to basic. Then she's going to ult again. Then she's going to basic, and then I think she's gonna special because she's getting all of those turns over and over again. She could end up taking like 6 turns in a row. So that's gonna be pretty funny. Shadow King in here is also going to ult turn 1. I think his is a 6-turn cooldown or maybe even 7, but he's gonna ult turn 1, taking off trauma and doing a boatload of damage as well. Cap Sam will also ult every single turn, so if they don't bring in Immortal into this, Captain Sam can just give turn meter over and over and over and over and over again, which would be really, really funny. Pav is here to kind of counter the Immortal team a little bit that is most likely going to be brought in here. He's obviously going to be ulting turn 1 and goes before anybody on Immortal X-Men. He will also be putting slow out there with his ult and defense down. So he's going to potentially do a butt ton of damage right off rip. I also have him as a skirmisher, so he can actually land the slow and the defense down. And then Emma is in here for that 10% speed reduction that's going to help out everybody go a little bit faster because, again, Immortal is pretty much going to be the team that's brought in here. We're also going to change Kahori ISO to Fortifier. And the reason why is because if somebody tries to bring Cabal into this, you want Kahori ripping off those vulnerables very, very quickly. So Kahori will ult, like I said, turn 1, turn 2, whatever it is, probably turn 1. No, yeah, turn 1. And she will take off those vulnerables with Fortifier purple 3. So it'll take those vulnerables off, and then we won't have to worry about anything like that. So I'm really interested to see how this room goes. I know a lot of people are looking at this and going, hey, Illuminati could be good in here because Hank's just always gonna special. Shuri's gonna open with her special, or always gonna ult, I'm sorry. And then Shuri would open with her ult. The problem is you actually want them using their specials because Shuri gives ability energy to allies when she specials. She's also doing that ability block and charge clear turn 1. Hank also giving a bunch of barrier and safeguard when he gets to specials. So that's really good. So you definitely do want them specialing. So I don't think Illuminati is going to be very good here at all. Other notable possibilities here, maybe like a Dormammu in here because he's going to ult turn 1. Maybe a Doom in here, Doom Cheese. But again, everything that you see on defense that could work here can also work on offense. So you could potentially use a super fast Doom Cheese team here to get Doom running real quick. There's going to be a lot of possibilities with this. I'm super excited to see how this changes throughout the week of Cosmic Crucible. Next up, the Uncanny Avengers room. So we have on defense and offense, X-Men characters count as Immortal X-Men and Uncanny Avengers, and then Avenger characters count as Mighty Avengers and Uncanny Avengers. So you see here, I'm completely ignoring the room rules, and I'm just going full out, just pain, full pain in this room. So we are doing Mephisto, Illuminati, and Odin, and this is just full pain. Again, this is about as big of a defense you can see being put in here. So Mephisto is going to negate a possible sack team coming in here to be able to snipe a Captain Britain because he's giving 50% armor right away, that offense down. And even after the double sack, this is a rough room to try to take out. This is not easy at all. And I think even with a lot more tools on offense, this is still going to be a struggle. Now, what you can do if you want Odin on offense, you can absolutely just throw Black Bolt in here instead and just do Mephisto Illuminati. And that's still a very, very good team because, again, it's going to be very hard to sack that Captain Britain to try to snipe him out because of the mark of Mephisto. So you're pretty much going to have to double sack and then try to one-shot it. I think Night Stalkers would do pretty well against that, though, after a double sack, depending on abilities. And then the other option is taking Mephisto out of here and leaving Odin in here with Illuminati. Then you have a bunch of options. So you have Doctor Strange, Black Knight, Dormammu, Zombie Juggernaut. Now, I will say if you're going to use Dormammu, he needs to be a striker, purple 3, at least 2 diamonds to have more attack damage than Shuri. So the Old Man Logan combo will not work with Superior 6. And Zombie Juggernaut, I'm not too sure about how big he has to be. I think he has to be 1 or 2 diamond as well and a striker purple to be able to have that same effect so that the Old Man Logan wouldn't be able to strip charges off of Shuri. Because he'd be stripping it off of the person with the highest damage, and that would not be Shuri. So you've got a lot of options to put in here, but I think the best way to run this is doing this as a blank room because, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be good to put Immortal X-Men on defense at all because Jean Grey, all of her stuff is tied to offense. So that ability steal, the ability energy steal on the special is tied to offense. The turn meter, I believe, is only tied to offense. Yeah, the turn meter stoppage is only tied to offense as well. So I think there's really no good enough defense to put in here if you're going to be taking out the Cosmic Crucible members. Now, you could absolutely try to make like a mishmash team, but they're not going to get the war benefits and they're not going to get the raid benefits from that. So I don't think it's worth it. And I think you're really, really going to need Immortal on offense to take care of anybody who's putting Kahori in room 1, because that's just going to be a ridiculous room to try to take out. And then in room number 3, more pain, more new stats, honestly, is a big thing here. So you got this defense here, which is going to be gain 50% max barrier, and on spawn, bury yourself for 100% of that character's max health. You're also gaining 100% damage as well. So you're essentially getting a bunch of barrier, but then you're also getting double damage. So 100% damage is obviously double damage. And my thought here is Super Scroll goes really, really fast. Old Man Logan obviously is going to assist off Super Scroll. There's going to be a bunch of assisting going on. Gore goes quick. Thanos is always a problem. Gladiator's an awesome pre-taunt. And if Immortal is going to be forced into room 1 here, there's no way they can Immortal in room 3. So they're not going to have that turn meter stoppage that's going to cause problems in 3. Because guess what? Pretty much everybody's going to have Illuminati on defense. So that Captain Britain stopping that turn meter won't be able to be used for room 3. Cabal can't be used in room 3 because obviously Gladiator with 2 Annihilator allies is stopping those taunts, or stopping the vulnerables from being put out. So you don't have anything to stop Super Scroll from going very fast, Old Man Logan from going very fast, and then this team just being a problem because of how much health they have. So you got to remember, if they're getting 100% extra barrier on spawn, Gladiator has like 12 million health, 11 million health, and then he's getting the barrier on top of it. Same thing with Thanos. Same thing with Super Scroll and Old Man Logan. They're going to be really tanky. You're not going to be able to come in here and just delete them off rip for fun with a B-tier team. So this is going to be my thought process here. The only other teams I could really see using in 3 is going to be new stat teams. So I thought about maybe like Captain America Sam in there with like Invisible Woman for more barrier and stuff like that. But then that kind of just turned into like a B-tier team. Unless you put it maybe with like Annihilators, the 3-piece Annihilators and like Invisible Woman and Cap in here could be interesting. That's the other option, but then you're not using Super Scroll anywhere. So there's that kind of to tend to and fend with. So yeah, it's a lot of give and take. It's very interesting making a defense with only 3 rooms because there's so many weapons that I'm not using here. So we have obviously Black Knight. We've got Phoenix with her rework, Orcus. We've got Immortal, obviously, Night Stalkers, Doctor Strange, Ultimus, Again, Black Knight, Nightcrawler, Superior 6. There's so many things that are not being used on defense here. So it's going to be really interesting to see if it's going to be put everything in one room like I'm doing here in room 2 and just hope that they can't full clear it, knowing that they're going to clear rooms 1 and 3 because there's so much on offense. Or is it going to be kind of trying to spread your opponents thin? But I think the spreading your opponents thin is not an option with this because there's half the rooms. There's no spreading them thin. So I think it's going to be, you have to go all in on defense in one room. And I do think Odin Illuminati and Mephisto is the strongest defense you can put anywhere. And it could be better in room 1, honestly, because then Mephisto is going to be ulting every other turn. But again, Illuminati characters really love their specials, especially Shuri and especially Hank really, really love their specials. Also, Odin not specialing turn 1 is probably not great either because you have him with a really fast team. Now, I will say if you have Odin in room 1 with a slower team and you want Odin basicing turn 1, you don't really care if he's assisting or not before he gets to his first turn because he would be basicing, which is what you would want anyway. That could be interesting to put him in room 1, but then you're never clearing a bunch of stuff. You're not getting that max health. You're never getting that charge mechanic, so I don't think that would outweigh the negatives of that. So I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to see how we do here, and it's going to be interesting to see what other people come up with. I think this is an awesome way to get the community reinvigorated in Cosmic Crucible, especially just for 1 week, 5 days. I think it would be better if this was a really for fun trial where there was no tribunal rating being won or lost, but the devs didn't go for it. I did suggest that, but they were like, "Nah, we're gonna keep it the same." So I'm like, "Whatever." But we are not being reduced in our tribunal rating at all. So that is kind of nice. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys run into this defense, don't blame me. It's not my fault. Even though, yeah, it probably is. Just make sure to blame me in the comment section because it's funny, and I really think it's funny. Now, if you guys have any other ideas that I'm not throwing in here, drop it down in the comment section below as well. Until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, MSFers.